Wendy, darling, light of my life, I'm not gonna kill ya. I'm just gonna bash your brains in. Bash them right the fuck in. Hi there, Matthew Diolis here. Let's talk movies. What have I been watching lately? Well, John Carpenter's Prince of Darkness. First time watching this, and it was nice to watch a Carpenter flick that I've never seen before, so it felt like a brand new John Carpenter movie. To be honest, I wasn't crazy about it, but I did dig the music, and it was nice to see something from Carpenter I've never seen. In a way, it felt like Big Trouble in Little China Part 2. The French Dispatch. Wes Anderson makes some of the most creative and aesthetically pleasing movies to look at. This wasn't one of my favorites from him, but was still an enjoyable watch. The Benicio del Toro story was my favorite of the bunch. Also, I really dug the animated chase sequence. That was pretty cool. Midnight Mass. Boy, I'm a big Mike Flanagan fan, and this is the best thing he's ever done. This felt like a 7-episode Stephen King book. SpiderMan Into the Multiverse, aka No Way Home. I enjoyed this, and I definitely marked out a few times. Spoilers! I don't know if it's spoilers at this point. The movie's been out for a while, and I think everyone knows, but it was really cool to see Andrew Garfield, for one, and especially Tobey Maguire. It was great seeing Tobey Maguire back in the Spider-Man role. Squid Game! When Squid Game came on Netflix, I remember seeing the trailer a little bit and added it to my list and kind of just didn't watch it. And then I started hearing about it, social media, everyone was talking about it. So I finally was like, all right, let me give this a watch. And I loved it. Just the drama and the emotion and the games and the tension. Oh my God, the tension. The Matrix Resurrections. I enjoyed this. I didn't think it was great, but it sure was exciting and surreal watching a new Matrix movie again. I was mostly curious and interested in what the new conflict was going to be and why the humans were still fighting machines. They gave me a little explanation, but not enough for my liking. And I didn't like seeing new actors playing the parts of the classic roles of Smith and Morpheus. You can't beat Lawrence Fishburne as Morpheus, and you can't beat Hugo Weaving as Smith. Those are just two iconic roles, and seeing other actors play those parts, although it was explained why that was happening, still, didn't do it for me. I watched the Hawkeye show. I dug this. Fun little 6-episode series. And as far as the Kingpin goes, if Squid Game taught me anything, it's if someone gets shot off camera, there's a good chance they're still alive. I watched an indie movie called Flatwoods by James Lockhart. If you like aliens, you'll dig this one. I thought the interrogation scenes kind of reminded me of the Blair Witch Project a little bit. The actors or the people that he used for the documentary stuff I thought was really good, and it felt real natural and real. Those Who Wish Me Dead. Put this on one night because I was bored and just wanted something new to watch, and this one surprised me. I enjoyed this a lot more than I was expecting. Nice little thriller. I had myself a Psycho marathon, kinda. Watched the first Psycho, watched the second, watched the third. I'm trying to track down the fourth. I'm not expecting great things or anything. I mean, in my opinion, the first is an all-time classic. The second one was interesting. I liked it. The third one kind of went downhill a little bit, wasn't as enjoyable. I still want to hurry up and see the fourth one while the sequels are fresh in my mind. I watched Don't Look Up, really liked this. Great cast too, felt like a modern day Dr. Strangelove, or How I Learned to Stop Worrying and Love the Bomb. Watched Free Guy. I really dig the concept. I like Ryan Reynolds, but this one really fell flat for me. Diolis. Matthew Diolis. Watch the new James Bond. Nice to see some good action scenes again. Good action in movies is almost a dying art. The whole Daniel Craig 007 series felt like one big connected story with a beginning and an end. A tad too long, but overall thumbs up, and ballsy ending too. I watched Venom 2. There Will Be Carnage.
That is one big pile of shit.
The Last Duel. Really good Ridley Scott film. Acting was superb, nice and violent too. And I like the three perspectives of how the story was told. One of Ridley Scott's best in a while. Cop Shop. I'm a big Frank Grillo fan. I dug this. Even though it kind of fell apart at the end a little bit, I kind of rolled my eyes a few times at the end, but still a fun flick. I saw Licorice Pizza, the new Paul Thomas Anderson movie. In a world of normalcy in the land of Hollywood, Paul Thomas Anderson stands out in a good way. Masters of the Universe, Revelation. I don't understand the hate. I quite enjoyed this. Every character has their moment to shine. Great animation, great animated action, and storytelling. One of the best action cartoons I've ever watched. And the best He-Man has ever been. What if... ... question mark. Cool little series here. Loved the animation, and the action is excellent. So good. The Queens Gambit. Great limited series. Big fan of Anna Taylor-Joy. If she's in something these days, you can bet it's going to be good. I watched Black Friday with Bruce Campbell. Overall, unfortunately, this was disappointing. If Peter Jackson in the early 90s got his hands on this really could have been something special and maybe an all-time great horror comedy. But in the end, it just ended up being a fun yet forgettable watch. Although I can see myself watching this again. It was fun. It just, man, oh man, it could have been so much more. I'll take Ash vs. Evil Dead any day of the week.
Hey, Evil, why don't you eat my butt?
Titan. My goodness. This is one of the biggest what the fuck movies I have ever seen. This made Fried Barry look like Full House. Well, actually, Fried Barry is pretty insane. I might have to retract that statement. Fried Barry is, that's another one that's way out there in a good way. The quote from Egon Spengler popped in my head. I am terrified beyond the capacity for rational thought. I just sat there when watching the credits, just contemplating what I just watched. It was very artsy, very out there, and I think I loved it. Lamb. To kind of quote the one dude in the beginning of Lethal Weapon in the nightclub scene, this movie's out there like fucking Pluto, man. It's gone. I dug the atmosphere and the tone of this. Then it reaches a point where it kind of took me out of it. But overall, I thought this was just a little better than okay. The Eternals. I love the MCU and I love superhero movies, but I feel like I've eaten the same meal like over and over and over again. It might be a meal that I love, but I'm kind of sick of it at the moment. Wasn't in a rush to see this movie. You know, I don't want to miss a chain in the MCU story, so I watched it. And to my surprise, I liked this more than I thought I would. It's not great, a little long. Actually, it's a lot long. It's 2 hours and 45 minutes, for fuck's sake. It had a Justice League vibe to it. Not sure which one I like better. But yeah, this felt a lot like, the characters felt like Justice League characters, and the movie kind of felt like the Justice League. Shang-Chi and the Legend of the Ten Rings. This movie needed more Jack Burton.
You know what old Jack Burton always says at a time like this?
Who?
Jack Burton. Me.
The Power of the Dog. I know this movie's getting a ton of Oscar buzz, but it's nowhere near the best movie of last year, in my opinion. I like the ending, and it's one of those endings where it almost saves the movie, and it has you kind of go back in your mind, like kind of picking it apart, like, oh, he did that. And so it ended up being a good movie, but it kind of took a while to get there. And there was a point where I was like, where is this going? Okay, it looks gorgeous, great performances, but where's this going here? And then it takes a turn for the better and kind of gets interesting. And like I said, the end saves it. The Green Knight. Loved the visuals, the editing style, and the effects, especially the Green Knight himself. The Green Knight just looked so cool. Every time he was on screen, your eyes were just glued to the TV. Performances were excellent too. This director's 2 for 2. A Ghost Story was my favorite movie of 2018, 2019 maybe. I think it'll age like a fine wine. I think I'm gonna revisit it a few times, and I anticipate enjoying it even more. Okay, my name is Matthew Diolis, and that's what I've been watching. Good, bad, what have you been watching? Tell me below.
You know, you guys are out there like fucking Pluto, man. You're gone.
If you try anything, you'll have to talk to Mr. Joshua.